Hello everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Current Density with Jaden. I'm your host, Charlie.
And I'm Jaden. Hello.
And today we're diving deep into the topic that affects all of us, often without us even realizing it, advertising. From shaping social norms and values to leveraging cutting-edge technology, advertising has evolved dramatically over the years, and it continues to influence our lives in surprising ways. So, our discussion today will cover three major areas: general impact of media and advertising, ethics in advertising, and technological advances that are redefining how ads are created and consumed. So we'll also touch on the effects of a globalization in the advertising industry. Joining me today is a fantastic student, Jaden, who's prepared his insights on this fascinating topic. So I'll be asking him questions to spark a lively discussion. So let's get started. Jaden, advertising has a unique power to shape how we think, feel, and act. So it influences social norms and reflects, or sometimes creates, cultural trends. So let's start with a broad question. How does advertising shape social norms and values?
I believe advertising has substantial power over societal norms and values by consistently conveying messages about what is desirable, what is acceptable, and what is worthy of attention. Through frequent repetition in various types of media like paper, online, and billboards, advertising not only reflects cultural ideas but also shapes them, reinforcing behaviors and standards that become normalized over time. By glamorizing certain lifestyles, physical appearances, or consumer habits, advertising can influence how people view themselves and the world around them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, that's an interesting point about how advertising reinforces the beauty standards and consumerism. But on the flip side, we've also seen ads that promote inclusivity and social change. So which brings me to my next question. So to what extent do advertisement reflect or create cultural trends?
Especially with the social media boom over the last couple of years, trends can rapidly spread all over the world, especially with the younger generation. From what I see, in that context, it's not the advertisements themselves that are creating the trends, but rather an event that happens to feature the product. For example, recently, Stanley Cups became wildly popular after a video went viral where a car went down in flames, but the cup was intact after the blaze. The tumbler then exploded in popularity as that video went viral on social media platforms, with many influencers creating their own collections of hundreds of Stanley Cups and showing them off to other people. It got so bad that stores had to restrict new releases because people were literally camping outside the stores overnight trying to buy them. And this had many positive effects for Stanley, especially its brand growth, and they obviously profited a lot from it. But it also sparked some negative effects. Kids in elementary schools were getting bullied because they didn't have the latest Stanley Cup designs. And also Stanley themselves got into a lawsuit because of some lead that was found in their tumbler bottom caps. So there are positive and both negative effects of going suddenly viral on social media.
Absolutely. So cultural trends and advertisement often have a symbiotic relationship. So social media platforms like Instagram and TikTok have added another layer to this dynamic. Okay, so how has rise of social media influenced traditional advertising strategy?
Yeah, so I think social media is one of the things that really revolutionized the way we consume media over like the past couple of years, and it also reshaped the advertising landscape because now advertisements are becoming more targeted, personalized, and it's very, very quick compared to traditional forms of advertising. This also led to the rise of influencers, sponsored videos, and user like generated content, giving the audience themselves an active role in shaping brand narratives. Also, social media provides like real-time feedback and analysis. Like Google ad platforms give you a very detailed view of how your advertisement is doing. So companies can campaign more efficiently and more effectively than ever before.
You're absolutely right. Social media has turned everyone into a potential brand ambassador. So that's the perfect siege into our next segment. So let's move on. Let's shift gears to discuss ethics in advertising.
Okay.
As the industry grows, so do concerns about its impact, so especially on younger audience and
Yes.
the privacy. So here's a critical question. Should there be stricter regulations on advertisements targeting children and teenagers?
Yes, I do believe so. Children and teenagers are still developing their cognitive and emotional capabilities, making them more susceptible to persuasive marketing tactics that can influence their self-image, values, and consumer habits. Stricter regulations would help protect young audiences from manipulative or harmful content and encourage advertisers to adopt more responsible practices. By establishing clear guidelines and enforcing transparency, we can promote an environment that prioritizes the well-being of younger viewers over like profit-driven motives.
That's great perspective. Kids and teens are particularly impressionable, and the ads they see can shape their habits and self-image.
Yes.
So another ethical dilemma is the use of personal data for highly targeted ads.
Yes.
So next question, how ethical is it for companies to use personal data for highly targeted advertisement?
Yeah, so I think we should first start on how companies target you with advertisements. So if you go on Google and say you want to make an advertisement for your company product, you can enter all sorts of details you want your target audience to be, like their age group, what they search very often, their demographic, location. So how does Google track all that? Well, Google is literally in everybody's smartphones, and every time you open an app, whether it's like Instagram, Chrome, the app has a specific tracking number that they send it over to Google, so Google can have your information pretty much all day, every day. So I think it is important to balance those business interests, obviously, that targeted ads help businesses thrive, right? And while balancing the privacy rights of consumers. While companies argue that personalized ads enhance user experience, critics worry about privacy breaches. There's been a lot of like SIN number leakages and database hacking recently. Ethical data use must have transparency, accountability on the companies, and we need data protection laws that systematically dictate what companies should do and should not do. Ultimately, it's about keeping a good balance between the company's motives and the privacy of the consumers.
Data privacy is such a hot topic these days, right?
Yeah.
So and it's something that everyone should be aware of. On a related note, public health campaigns often try to counteract the influence of ads for unhealthy products. So here's my next question. Are public health campaigns effective in countering the influence of unhealthy product advertisement?
I think this is a pretty tough question.
Mm-hmm.
By highlighting the risks of unhealthy products and encouraging better habits, health campaigns can raise awareness and guide healthier choices. However, they compete with the substantial budgets and persuasive tactics of big corporations and companies promoting their unhealthy products. So, if you look at a food, for example, like a fast food advertisement, they use all sorts of heavy machinery and tactics in their video editings to actually make the food even more appealing, and you just want to get it, right? They, for example, mix in glue with the cheese in the pizza to make it more stretchy.
Yeah.
And they use all sorts of colorful backgrounds, cameras are spinning, they drop a lime into your drink to make it more refreshing. So I think compared to that, most public health campaigns do have a lower budget in making their material. So maybe some stricter advertising regulations to not mislead people, to not overly exaggerate their products.
Yeah.
And cleaner labeling can enhance public health campaigns' impact and overall can contribute to a healthier media environment.
Yeah. So, that's excellent points. That actually, every time I go to get some fast food, it doesn't match.
No, it doesn't match the image.
Doesn't match in the image every time. So public health campaigns can be impactful, but they are often up against massive marketing budgets from industry.
Yeah, I agree.
Promoting unhealthy lifestyle. All right. Now, let's talk about the future. Technology is transforming advertising in ways we never seen before. For example, AI-generated advertisement, right? So how has artificial intelligence changed the way advertisements are created and delivered?
Yeah, so artificial intelligence is obviously a really hot topic in the tech industry right now. Everybody is going after AI. Image and video generation has become very, very much better than what it was a couple of years ago. But in the realm of advertising, impactful advertisements fundamentally need new and creative marketing ideas. If you look at like a lot of successful like big scale advertisements, they often have a radical new concept that really wowed the people that watched it. As of now, what AI does, it's very, very good at analyzing and synthesizing given information. So it searches, it records the internet, it searches databases. However, it does lack the ability to come up with original, genuine creative ideas that were never tried before, that didn't exist before. For example, if you prompt ChatGPT to show you an image with a wine glass filled to the brim with wine, it will not generate the correct image. It will only show wine glasses that are partially full, or it will show you some weird things going on with the glass. The reason is that all the images that ChatGPT researched on, so learned on from the internet, are like wine glass advertisements, right? They never fill the glass to the top. So ChatGPT technically doesn't know what a full wine glass looks like. Now, obviously, there could be methods to get around this. Another example is like, give me some fried rice and then just remove the green onions. ChatGPT can't do that easily because most of the images of fried rice on the internet contains green onions as the topping. So for now, I believe that humans still are needed to come up with clever strategies for advertisements, while AI might be better at, say, analyzing the target consumer group from existing information like recent trends or polls. There are like many advertisement platform software that integrates AI to help you find like the correct group of people that you want to target to. So for now, AI is more useful in those areas.
Absolutely. So AI definitely adds efficiency and personalization to advertising, but it's not without its downsides. So another fascinating development is the use of influencers to promote products. So, what are the sociological implications of using influencers as a form of advertising?
Yeah, there's a lot to say on this topic. Influencer-based advertising has been around for quite a while, I would say. Pepsi used Michael Jackson in their 1980s commercial, and they gained significant market share. And this led Coca-Cola to be very worried about their brand status. So that's one of the reasons they came up with New Coke, which is a story that's not related to advertising, but it's still a good story. Nowadays, there's a lot of YouTube influencers and social media influencers doing sponsored videos. The concept itself is quite simple. You know, if you're a fan of someone, a big influencer or like K-pop groups, and that person or group happens to endorse a product, then you'll be more inclined to use that product, buy it, or maybe prefer some brand of product over other brands that you might have not like cared about before. So I think it is a effective form of advertising. The internet has made it possible for a famous person to have a massive fan base, right? So if you're going to be famous internationally, you're going to have hundreds of millions of followers on Instagram. You're going to have millions of followers on YouTube. So what comes out of your mouth really can have impact to very many people. In the tech industry, YouTuber MKBHD, you might have heard of him. He recently called out some companies for making bad AI products, you know, the Humane AI pin and like the Rabbit R1 device. And those reviews really had a significant impact on those companies, and that drove down sales by a lot, really. And he did call out a car company for making bad electric cars, and that car company threatened to sue him, actually, because all the influencers posting negative reviews does have a shockwave across all the people.
Yeah, great point about the authenticity and lack of thereof. So in influencers marketing. Now, let's look at a cutting edge tech like a virtual reality. Could virtual reality and augmented reality revolutionize how we consume advertisement?
Yeah, so VR and AR is a trending topic right now. Also, recently Apple released their new Vision Pro headset. Meta's releasing their like AI vision goggles. But the thing is that I don't see a huge boom in AR VR targeted advertisement for now, just because simply like people are not adopting the technology
Yet.
Apple actually ceased production of their Vision Pro headsets recently because they were not making a profit from them. Not enough people were buying them. It was an initial hype of like influencers and YouTubers, but to like ordinary consumers right now, there's no like this big of a merit to spend $3,500 on like a glamorous iPad strapped to your face sort of thing. But if the technologies get better and more affordable over time, then it can open up some very new possibilities in the advertising market. Apple's kind of doing AR, VR kind of stuff with other companies right now. So, for example, if you have an iPad and a furniture company allows you to preview the full-size furniture in your house by using the iPad's LiDAR scanner and sensor. So if AR, VR technology gets widely adapted, that will make advertisements much more immersive, right? You're not just watching a video on a screen and then scrolling past. You get to actually, feel the advertisement in the real world, and that could lead to a lot of potentially good opportunities in the future.
The possibilities are endless, but it's clear that immersive tech has the potential to redefine engagement with advertisement.
Yeah.
So, finally, Let's discuss globalizations and how it's impacted advertising campaign. Here's the first question. How has globalization affected the content and reach of advertising campaigns?
Globalization has definitely broadened both the scope and influence of advertising by allowing campaigns to reach audiences across the world, across international borders with relative ease. Anyone can go on Google today, and if they have the money to do so, send out advertisements to multiple countries around the world. Brands can now leverage global media channels and digital platforms to spread their messages more efficiently, so they can amplify their presence and visibility worldwide.
Global reach is a double-edged sword, isn't it? Brands can achieve worldwide recognition, but often face challenges in catering to diverse audiences. Are there cultural conflicts in how global brands advertise in different regions?
Messages or certain types of imagery that work well in one culture may be, offensive or misinterpreted in another region of the world. So like a famous Italian fashion brand, like back in 2018, got some controversy because they featured Chinese models trying to consume Italian food with chopsticks, and that sort of seemed derogatory in Chinese culture, so they did get boycotted for that. There could be language barriers, differences in humor, like some English advertisements use a clever trick on the words, so it sounds very snappy, but it loses all meaning if it's directly translated into another language. So those are some of the things that companies should consider.
Exactly.
But for many companies, though, that have really big presence worldwide, I do feel like their message around the entire world is mostly fairly consistent. So this is for like really huge general corporations. But marketing yourself to different regions in the world definitely has its challenges, because you got to know about the local situation there as well as maintaining your general brand identity. So I think that's called a global approach, maintaining your constant brand while tailoring your specific campaigns to fit local tastes and expectations.
Global, I like that word. So those are some great examples of cultural misunderstandings in advertising. So it really shows how important cultural sensitivity is in today's interconnected world. So that wraps up today's episode of Current Density with Jaden. Big thank Jaden for your insight to our insightful audience. For sharing your thoughts.
Oh yeah, I was really happy to talk here.
So we have explored the impact of advertising on society, ethical dilemmas, technological innovations, and the effect of globalization. Advertising is everywhere, and its influence on our lives is undeniable. If you enjoyed this discussion, don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, and share this episode with your friends. Join us next time as we delve into another thought-provoking topic. Until then, I'm Charlie.
And I'm Jaden, signing
Signing off. Take care. Bye.
Bye.